You didn't say let's jam. I
Or
don't
the
know to
jacket.
go if you don't say let's jam. We began to recognize in them a strange obsession. After all, they are emotionally inexperienced, with only a few years in which to store up the experiences which you and I take for granted. If we gift them with a past, we create a cushion or a pillow for their emotions, and consequently, we can control them better. Quote by Eldon Tyrell, now deceased. Hello, and welcome to Electric Memory, a Blade Runner campaign set in the world of the films and using the system published by Free League Press. We are also using the Roll20 virtual tabletop, including the wonderful music provided within the platform. As a content note, this game deals with many of the same themes as the film, including unreliable memory, mistaken identity, mistaken heritage, and loss of innocent life. Viewer discretion is thus advised. The game also presumes that player characters will be Blade Runners, part of a semi-autonomous unit attached to the LAPD. As an Angelino, I can tell you straight up that the LAPD sucks, that they have always sucked, and they will probably continue to suck until the heat death of the universe. This show is not meant to be propaganda in any way, and instead works to highlight the corruption and abuse inherent in institutions like the LAPD and anyone else given literal licenses to kill. That out of the way, players, please introduce yourself to the audience.
It me, an Am Changeling. Hello, everybody. I'm Ever. You can find me all over the internet as Am Changeling. You can find me on Etsy at Thornkind, and my pronouns are any pronouns. So whatever you feel, like even throw out those neo pronouns, see how they feel. I don't know. Uh, Tonight I will be playing Quinn Kinsey, who uses any pronouns, and they like sticking their hands into corpses for work.
Don't make it creepy.
Don't look creepy if you make it creepy. Hi everyone, it's me, Aaron. My pronouns are she, they, they, speaking of neo-pronouns, and also happy Envy Day to me and Ever and any other NPs in chat. Wave that flag. Yes. You can find me pretty much everywhere as Greg Cthulhu in some fashion, and thanks to Rachel recently, now Blue Sky, I can finally be free of Twitter soon, everyone. Yay. Yeah, I'll be playing Evie Tafana tonight, who's got a whole bunch of shenanigans she's planning to do. It'll be fun.
Hello, Ben, Big Dad. I had a thing. I'm playing Evan, the rascally replicant of the bunch. Stuff's happening there. I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't think any of us do. But we're gonna dig 3 graves.
Why not more? Hi,
Because that's not
I'm
the
Eric,
saying.
And this evening I will be playing Foster Worth, the Snake in the Grass replicant Blade Runner.
It's me or Tanner next.
Hello, sorry. um, hello. My name is Jared. Formerly known as Leo the Black, and you can. Wow, this went horribly wrong. Sorry. I'll be playing Tanner. He's playing 4D chess with a lot of things right now, so we'll see what happens.
4Ds. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Steve. Pronouns are he, him. Tonight I will be playing Cassius, the good Blade Runner in the group.
The fuck is this shade?
Evan has never done anything wrong professionally.
Look, one of us got all of Holden's files, and it wasn't Cassius. I'll just say that.
Wasn't trying to steal his files. I was doing my
They
job.
were given
You
to me by
ruined
Holden.
Dutch's funeral.
You did ruin Dutch's funeral.
Dutch was a bad Blade Runner.
This is
Oh, shots fired.
I'm paid to get results, not be professional.
You're currently being investigated.
Yeah,
I
but I got
was about
results.
to say, everyone like calling each other bad Blade Runner. There's this corrupt asshole over here.
yeah. Evie's not being interrogated by IA, so yet.
All right, so as for me, I am your game runner. My name is Rachel. I am she, her. You can find me as Stolen Fires pretty much everywhere on the internet, including Blue Sky. It's nice over there. Come join me. So, Aaron, would you mind reading a recap of last week's session, please?
Yes, once my window lets me get to my taskbar. There we go. Okay. Evan and Evie are on the rooftop. Foster's back at his own place, pissed at Holden. Cassius and Quinn are looking around as best they can for more forensic evidence. Tanner is at the Wayland-Yutani facility. For Evan's unintended vulnerability, Evie offers information in return. She may be fired when they get back to the office due to punching a priest in the nose. We all know he deserved it, though. Surprisingly, Evie isn't too disappointed at the prospect of being fired. The conversation moves towards a scenario here. We need to talk to Fies about why she's involving herself in this. Should they keep all this quiet for now from the department? The corpses are pretty old after all, and the LAPD isn't going to give a damn about dead replicants. Tanner is looking for information. He's hoping for a career-defining find to put those responsible in jail, but that's a project that would take years. For now, he'll have to settle for the evidence of the cryo experiments, whatever information FISA can give him, and evidence of the siege on the replicants and his squad. All that, and the resource that is Amara Javari. Hopefully that can give the detective the ability to put Genesis in jail for what she's done, but that's something that needs to be discussed with the full team. Suspicion begins to scratch at Tanner's brain. It was a little too easy for him to get into the facility. Wade reassures him that the company would have felt like they had the power to mitigate any further investigations. Well, pride goes before the fall. Foster lives in a pretty nice penthouse, and he finds himself gazing reminiscent at the old dog tags that he's stored safely away. Ruminating, Foster decides to put some feelers out into the replicant underground. All the KIA numbers he has are still active, and he's given a meeting to place and time. A rundown bar on Rag Row, a meeting with some replicant named Styles. Detective Worth dresses for the occasion, only keeping his badge tucked away safely in case it's needed. Back on the ground, Evie and Evan regroup with Cassius and Quinn, having gleaned what they could from the site. Cassius and Quinn point out some interesting patterns in the sand, a version of a spinner in the image of a dirt bike. Are they older and somehow untouched by the desert forces of wind and occasional rain? Or are they newer and deserving of some intense scrutiny as someone else is aware of this year's stale crime scene? Evan recognizes that the evening breeze brushes grains of sand across the desert and realizes that these tracks are only a day old. Evie makes her way over to talk to FISA, who seems to be writing notes in her KIA. The rep tech slips into the front seat of the spinner, telling the reporter she has some questions for her, to which the reporter says she has some for Evie, too. No one came out with FISA. She was alone. She explains to FISA that these are murdered replicants. FISA is reluctant to give up her source, but it may be that she doesn't have one. She's a sleuth of her own merits. Something isn't adding up. Replicants have been disappearing. FISA seems to think they're being shipped off-world. Evie disagrees. She thinks they're all just being killed for sport. Detective Tefana also informs FISA about the cryo experiments, on the record. We don't know for how long these experiments have been going on. Genesis Wayland hired a hit squad on the Reptitech team and the working replicants, the force borrowed from Wallace Corps. Some of this FISA can't publish without evidence, however. Evie reassures her they're on it. Off the record, Evie would love nothing more than to defenestrate Genesis from the top of the court building. All of this information overwhelms FISA as she processes it, yet she still asks Evie excitedly if they can get a meeting with Quell. In addition to all this new information, Tefana tells her about Senator Bannister being involved in the replicant trophy hunting. As thanks, FISA will attempt to get the Priest Punch Kill magazine cover at least delayed. Evie releases FISA from the handcuffs and the spinner. Sure, Cassius was thrilled about that. Foster had set all the dirty down low on Holden to love that he had found. By the time Tanner returns to Reptitech, he finds Holden sitting in the dark, drinking his liver away. There's some boxes on his desk with personal items in them. Holden tells the detective that he's being strongly encouraged to retire by his boss at the behest of Wallace Corps. Tanner divulges to Holden that he's got some good dirt, legitimate proof about Whalen Yutani that could get Holden reinstated. But Holden says he doesn't give a damn about the death of skin jobs. He adds that experimental replicants have been seeded into the entire population, especially in the LAPD. Does Tanner think that Foster and Evan are the only ones? His boss says he's been holding back the tide for as long as he can, but it keeps getting harder and harder. The only solution is to reenact anti-replicant legislature, plus more funding for the LAPD. Perhaps Holden will run for office. Ugh. Change needs to happen, and Tanner is willing to usher it in. The bar seems surprisingly empty to Foster. It's also strange there's bottles and cups in reach of the patrons with only a donation and suggestion jar. It's suddenly clear to him that the patrons here aren't patrons, but bodyguards/goons for Styles. Don't fuck it up. In that case, Foster doesn't drink like he'd want to, but only enough to calm his nerves. He makes his way to Styles and the talks begin. It's been a lifetime since they've chatted. Foster's got information and Styles is all ears. They'll update each other on all the Reptitech team's doing, as well as the Corpos. There's also gossip that Wallace and Whalen might not be buddies anymore. Foster offers something for Styles if Styles will offer something in return. Detective Foster is interested in justice. He reveals his dog tag to Styles, 2019. They're his own, and there's only one type of replicant they're making in 2019. They're fighting the same fight. What is it that Styles and his people want? That's a long list. The top item is freedom. From Wallace, Reptitect, but one thing at a time. So start with Reptitect. They call replicants violent and unpredictable, but history shows humans are just as violent and unpredictable. If only Foster Worth could go public, he'd be an excellent example of a stable, functional person in everywhere that matters. There should be a better system, rights for replicants like humans have. So what's next? There's someone willing to plant charges at Reptitect itself. Foster slides his KIA with some photos of a bomb he had dropped at Reptitect. Holden's forced retirement. Detective Worth sets placing Joshi in the position in a way that she's beholden to the replicants. Foster doesn't want to go back to Reptitect. He's so sick of all that shit. He heads home to collect himself and return as his cheery self in the morning. Evan, Evie, and Quinn bump into Tanner as he's struggling from Holden's office. Evan and Tanner lightly catch up with some random commentary from Quinn while Evie steps into Holden's office. Detective Tafana gently remarks to Holden, leaving so early? She wants to know what'll happen now, since Holden has this strange arrangement with him to keep her sister under the insurance to keep her alive. Evie knows who is replacing Holden, but she doesn't care. She doesn't share. It's fine. Holden doesn't care. They'll find out soon enough. The Femby updates Holden on her meeting with Quell, and since he's still somewhat involved, Quell was the one who dispatched the hit squad, and she's going to set up a meeting with Neander for Evie. The detective brings up the murder replicant experiments, and it sets off her ex-boss. He rage confesses that he brought on Evie and Cassius because he thinks they're the only two he's 100% sure are human. Neander Wallace is a murderous replicant-making madman that needs to be stopped, and it's possible Evie is the only one who can lead that charge. True terrible news for you, Holden. He wishes her good luck in his own way. The baton is passed to her. Evie leaves his office, not slamming the door for once. As she leaves, they see what he meant, and as their KIA begins to ping with notifications. Evie approaches us, confessions she doesn't know how long she's going to be here. Holden covered her ass more than any new person, see Joshi, would be willing to. Quinn thinks their fellow them fatale shouldn't judge Joshi just yet. Pulling Evan aside, Evie tells him she needs him to void comfort. After it's all done, he's 90% sure they're not a replicant. To be fair, he wasn't trained properly on the device. Evie attempts to do it on herself, and to no surprise, Evie sees the other Evie, and she assists her. Her previous proctor, Evan, is witnessing Evie talking to thin air. He observes her thoroughly be able to mimic a human breakdown, should he ever need to. His ears perk even more when Evie lets slip that her sister had been shot and then she had been blackmailed to work here for the insurance. Completing her self-void comp, she insists to Evan that this never happened. Let's never talk about this again. Quinn comes home to Joshi, instantly being handed a flute of champagne. Joshi asks if Quinn heard what happened. Quinn saw firsthand Holden's packing. The blue-haired NB shares that Evie is concerned about job loss without Holden, but thankfully, as long as she keeps her head down, she's fine with Joshi. So even if Joshi isn't the one to get Holden's job, Joshi is just relieved that Holden is gone. His explicit dislike of replicants wasn't good for the work, and he was a dinosaur at that. It all impeded his judgment. Joshi concedes that at least replicants aren't like us. They don't have souls. Quinn is hesitant about replicants not having souls, or do they? Just because they're clones and born from bags, what's the life force that drives them? Joshi understands Holden's hate of replicants, with one having shot out at his lungs, leading them to be replaced. This triggers the talk of the ship of Theseus from Quinn. They wonder how much of a person is still a person when their parts are replaced with synthetic parts. This all tumbles into a conversation on implanted memories. Could humans be implanted with memories? Is programming different from life force? What is a soul? Is the soul the life force? What about the new memories that replicants make? Slow down, Quinn. You're making Joshi have some character growth. Regardless of Joshi's momentary blue screen of death, Joshi is determined to reign in Wallace Core. Quinn's lover is contemplated for the rest of the night, with Quinn concerned they've ruined her celebratory evening. No, says Joshi. Quinn inspired some things for Joshi to think on. Tanner's investigations take him to speak with Javari. Nothing seems out of place. She seems squeaky clean. Her parents had her in the colonies, a life of privilege, but she wanted a life of purpose. She came back to Earth, earning a position as assistant DA. She's strict to the law from an idealist perspective, but seems to be fair in her work. Right now, Javari is alone in her office with just the cleaning crew and security in the building. Tanner enters with a flash of the badge, and she greets him. He introduced himself, and she had been wondering when someone from Reptitech would be back. Their conversation turns to the corporations, and Tanner asks her opinion on them. Being that she's not entirely sure who he is and what side he's on, she keeps answers vague. Tanner realizes he's not getting any information, so name drops his team members. He comes bearing proof. The detective hands off a flash drive to the ADA, full of info on Weyland-Yutani. She'll give it a look, but there's never been a case like this before. Morning comes along, as do the options on our task list. There's a lot of precarious things going on in LA right now. Our team is holding the leverage, but we need to get our shit together. Back at his apartment, Evan decides to experiment on his new roommate, Cassius, as he sleeps. The experiment? Can Evan lie to a human? It turns out that yes, he can. He is a golden god. Then Cassius wakes up from his nap.
All right. Thank you for reading the recap, and thank you, Ever, for taking notes. So, we are going to open in the morning after everyone gets a good night's rest. So you can all refresh a resolve. So,
I have a question.
Yes.
If I took a specialty that increased my resolve, do I get one more like active resolve, or just my limit just go up?
So I would say that your resolve pool would increase, and your active resolve would increase by 1 when you take that. So if your resolve is 4 and you bring it up to 5, and your resolve is at 3, it's now at 4. Okay. So
Guess you just take care of losing 2 resolve at the end of the last session.
yeah, you're less likely to freak out and murder everyone. Hooray!
Murder? I'm a replicant.
You're still capable of freaking out and murdering. Or potentially capable. That's what this whole job is about. Finding the murdery ones. So, your plan is to meet in the morning at Reptitect and have a big squad meeting with everyone there. Is there anything that anyone would like to accomplish shortly beforehand or on the way there?
I don't think the things that I want to do are quick tasks, so I'm good.
Okay.
I will.
I think they'd probably take a full shift on my part. Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
No, you're good. I will. Foster will just feign complete ignorance about Holden's fate, since he was largely out of the office when this whole thing came down. So he'll just walk in expecting, with the usual coffees that he gets his boss, and he's like, "Where's Holden? What's going on? My fellow Blade Runners?"
Anything
Did you
else
just fellow
want to...
kids us?
Yeah. Hello.
All right. Is there anything anyone else wants to accomplish? All right, cool. So, we will open in one of the many, many squad rooms that are available for you at LAPD RDU. And so this is a fairly kind of Spartan room. There's those weird little chair desks. And so there's a big whiteboard up at the front, and like a projection screen and a projector in case anybody has footage that they want to show off. And of course, there is an Esper unit here should anybody need to look up anything. And it's fairly out of the way, so you can pretty much expect that you will not be disturbed unless something really bad starts happening. So, with that being said, the scene is yours.
So,
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 This is not good, by the way.
Staring coldly at each other.
What's everyone been doing?
You know,
chatting with Holden before he's gone yesterday.
Oh wow.
What is going on around here? I left for one evening, and the whole thing just went topsy turvy. I
no,
am
Foster, you hold
disheartened.
it all together.
You look pretty shocked there, Foster. Just saying.
What basis are they using to oust one of the legendary Blade Runners of this department? On what grounds?
He's okay.
No,
Yeah,
it's
he'll be fine.
not okay, darn it!
He'll be fine.
Where is he?
hey, watch the language, fella.
Oh,
Jesus
sugar shoes.
Okay, that almost got a spit take out of me.
So, who's replacing Holden?
Some suit.
Edie will look deliberately right at Quinn.
I don't think anybody can honestly replace the kind of caliber of Blade Runner that Holden. I mean, his presence is, he was an institution.
I
unto
can replace
himself.
Holden with a bunch of audio clips that are mostly anti-replicant slurs.
He was shot point
Evan's not
blank
wrong.
by a replicant and
Oh,
survived.
skin job! Oh, skin job!
okay, everybody.
That sounded
everybody.
exactly like him.
Oh, sorry. Skin
There
job!
you go. There you go. Thank you, Evan. Yeah, I needed the caffeine.
Excuse me. Apologies. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt or disrupt the amazing banter that we've got going on here, but perhaps our time could be better used than mocking Holden.
All right, let's start with, do we have
This
an
is a
active
tragedy.
case?
Genesis.
That's not
Genesis.
really a case that we're actually working on.
I don't know about you, but that's what I'm working on.
Same here, there, Evan.
But, like, do we have a case file open on her?
Of course, fucking not. Like they're gonna
They-
let us have an official file open.
So, let's just
Point.
take... All right, so why don't we take control of the hit squad case?
Is this like a private, just with our unit?
Unless anyone wanted to invite anyone else in, then yes.
We don't know anyone.
I pictured us around a break room table just sitting there.
No, God,
This has
no.
to be like a conference room or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm out. Thing is, I'm out for blood with Genesis.
Me and Tanner are of one mind on this, actually, strangely enough.
So, granted, I
Unless
don't
you're
wanna
unless
kill
you're
her,
speaking metaphorically, Tanner.
but I do want to put her in jail, and I've
Yeah.
taken steps to do so.
Tanner, how long do you honestly think that's going to last? We're talking about one of the heirs of the Yutani corporation. Let's be honest.
It's murder,
I spoke
though.
to- well, we don't want to, break any laws here. Or
Listen,
anything,
she's not
okay?
a professional
But
athlete. She can't just get away with murder in L.A.
See, here's the thing.
You'd be surprised, my friend. But regardless, and you bring up a good point, but even Holden wanted some kind of retaliation for what happened to Dutch. I mean, we're not going to let that slide, are we?
Oh,
No.
No.
But
We
we should do it within the confines of the law, or we become animals ourselves.
We are talking
So wait.
about the corpos, am I right?
Excuse me, Tanner. I become a what?
Please don't draw a comparison. We are upholders of truth and justice, whereas the corporations, on the other hand.
Exactly my point.
Jesus, you have drank that Kool-Aid, haven't you?
It's programmed
Oh,
in.
is there some? I would love to. I mean, parched.
No, you'll get it.
All we have
over
is
your
Flavor
jacket,
Aid,
and
okay?
It's so beautiful and white.
I'm just saying, there's a reason why I went back to the campus. All right, I dug up a lot of physical proof of what they were doing there.
The hit
All
squad,
that sounds like
or
you've been busy there.
Yep, hit squad, the cryostasis, all of it.
Outstanding.
Do you have footage of the hit squad?
Yeah, well, yes, I do, but it's them going into a building and shooting people up. It's not the actual act, but you can hear screams from everybody and shit like that. So they went in. You should be able to put two and two together.
You have footage of them going to the building where we were and shooting at us?
Yep.
Perfect.
Do we have bank transfers or anything directly linking the hired mercenaries to Wayland Yutani?
That's the problem.
I'm
Bad.
sure you can find a lead if you want to do this by the book.
Exactly my point.
However, there is a ticking clock element in all of this because, as you're probably already aware, Miss Yutani is going to make herself scarce very soon and heading to the off-world colonies, where unfortunately our jurisdiction ends. So we're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to do it quickly.
No.
But I trust that this
how many
unit,
days do we
above
have,
all others,
Storyteller?
will be able to accomplish this.
What'd you say?
14.
Oh, that we had a week. 14. Holy shit.
No, it was by the end of the month.
Oh, holy
She would be
shit. We have
leaving.
so much time.
I have a couple of spitballing ideas. I don't know how you guys wanna.
I might already have a potential meeting with Neander Wallace himself being lined up. And I also have a bit of a, we'll call it a working relationship with Quell over there.
Ooh.
I just want
You
everybody
lady.
to know as well. If this doesn't work, I am fully in support of retiring. Mr.
Boop, boop, boop. Let's not say that out loud anytime soon.
What,
I'll say it.
retiring?
Killed it, I-
It's just a replicant, Cassius.
We don't. Thing is,
Didn't
we
think
don't know
that's
that.
who they were
Could be
referring to.
replicant.
Let me just say, boss, and he says boss when he looks at Evie, recognizing the baton has been passed. I think going to the Wallace Corporation for information is the best move right now. I'm sure they'll be more than willing to cooperate. I mean, when you consider how much they have to gain versus the Wayland Yutani Corporation, I'm sure they'll provide us with any and all information that we request from them to help, bring Genesis Wayland to justice.
I'm
No.
sure it's going to take a little bit of convincing, though.
1 second. Mr. Foster, I'm not the most politically minded of folks. Can you explain to me what they have to gain from helping us out other than the knowledge of a job well done?
Well, clearly they're competitors, or at least
Oh.
they will be if they aren't already.
Are they? I thought that Wayland Yutani was biomedical and space technology as opposed to agriculture and replicants.
This is correct for the time being.
They are megacorps.
Oh. Go on, sorry. Go on.
There is one other thing Holden passed on to me recently. We have a UN contact now, also. Do you still have that information, Tanner? I think she'd probably be very interested to get it as well.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Here's her name and number, Tanner.
Thank you. Beep, beep, beep. Put it in.
Okay.
Is the interest behind the UN person geared towards the confirmed murder of the replicants at the air dock, or is this something separate?
I would assume that they'd be very interested in a bunch of dead replicants, yes.
I
And
think they'd be
also
more
replicants
interested
being
in the
experimented
Replicant.
on. Yeah.
How about
Good
how about
call. Excellent work.
1 count of murder, 4 counts of attempted murder, and 1, theft?
So,
Corporate malfeasance.
in
Agreed.
terms of Neander Wallace here, I actually have a little bit of a thing. Thing is I'm not expecting blackmail, nothing. Honestly, if we do this, this is in their benefit. If we do this, we will sack their reputation really low. We can even maybe plummet their stocks. Then in turn, they'll be forced to kind of sell some of those assets, and then they'll buy them out. And I'll be right back.
I'm sorry, are we referring to stock market manipulation now? Let's remember our purview. We are Blade Runners.
I think
Yes, Blade
Detective
Runner.
Tanner
Cassius.
is just exploring
Cassius, these people tried to kill you. Grow a spine.
landscape here.
Yeah, you have a gunshot wound in you right now from them.
I understand this, and I definitely
You are.
want
You
to
are.
do
It
something
has
about
been
that.
2 days since you were shot.
I'm fully aware. I still feel the sutures every time I move. The
I
point
think
being,
Evie mutters under her breath, "I'm surprised you feel anything."
my point being is that I'm not quite sure how we're getting to taking down the entire corporation when our focus should be Genesis and her crimes.
Listen, he's eager. Let's just give him that. So let's go back to the crime. They
We
flew
have
there. They
murder.
flew there on skimmers, right?
Correct.
Mhm.
Does anyone have a friend in traffic? Can we
I
make-
have literally no friends on the force. Let's be
Can we
realistic.
trace a route with traffic cameras of these? If they're flying, they got to be with. Do we have air traffic control or something?
I might be
So-
able to get into that tech.
You don't necessarily have air traffic control for skimmers, but there is extensive.
But we still have their.
Yes.
We still have their skimmer, right?
One of them, yes.
All right. That shit's gotta have like a
a
low jack
log.
or tracking device on it, right?
Possibly. Everyone was pretty good about scrubbing any sort of identifying stuff on them.
Yeah, they're professionals.
So the skimmer may or may not have been the same thing. However, yes, you can use Esper camera footage to try and reverse engineer the route that the big skimmers take. It won't be that difficult to do because these are like a convoy of essentially SUV skimmers.
Yeah, I said these are like
Uh,
armored jobbers too. Like they'll
Right.
stand out.
Yeah, and they left LA, so it would be pretty easy to search the few essentially freeway exits. It will just take some time to find them and then trace them back. So
So we can do that.
essentially,
Mhm. Go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were done.
it'll essentially take a shift of tedium.
What about what kind of skill roll would that take, if any?
Tech, probably.
Yes,
Or
tech.
observation?
It would be tech because it would be using the Esper to get the information that you're looking for.
Okay, we
That
could do.
sounds like a Quinn problem.
We could do that, or we could try to follow the money on it, see where these vehicles came from. Those are not cheap cars, right? Somebody paid a lot for them.
Yes, and also something else that was brought up earlier. Yes, someone paid a lot of money for the mercenaries who murked you. You can absolutely, on your own, issue a warrant for bank records, or get Javari to issue a subpoena. But that would immediately tip your hand. So you want to make sure you time doing that very, very carefully.
So, it sounds like we've got a couple angles to pursue here.
No, that's a bust. Do we want to try checking out the dead bodies in the river?
There,
I think we're
it's-
already
I think Quinn already cracked them open, cracked open
Yeah.
a cold one, if you will.
Have we followed up on last knowns and next ofs?
I don't. Aaron, the player, doesn't remember if that was a dead end or not.
There were no names to be had, but they were all like ex-military and stuff like that. So
How are there no
Yeah,
names
so
if they were
criminals.
ex-military?
and criminals.
You did get their names.
Oh, I did get their names.
Yeah, you did get their names.
If they're criminals, they had a police record.
Correct.
Yes.
known associates, that sort of thing. We can. I know Tanner's great at shaking people down, right? You're on mute. Or you
So
got
yeah, I'm not
amazing.
bad at it. Also, guys, we're also missing as well too is that there's got to been at the campus in terms of back and kind of bringing up Wayland. When we were back at the campus, I guarantee there was at least one or two of those replicants that wasn't the property of Wayland Utani. And if you kill other people's replicants, that's illegal.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
someone-
so is insider trading. They've been just paying that fine for decades.
Yeah, it's
Listen, it's like keying your own car, okay?
Well,
Unfortunately, I don't think anything against the replicants is going to be.
It's the murder and attempted murder we've got to make stick.
That's. I agree. I agree with Evan.
we
Yeah,
need
As
well.
as the replicant
Replication.
here, listen. What? No one gets in trouble for killing a replicant, really. Like,
Right.
I couldn't find anything in the book about doing that. I also couldn't find anything about civil rights for replicants. Only
Yeah.
that the UN has a really hard time enforcing laws about it.
Yeah, so essentially, hypothetically, if there was a non-Wayland Yutani replicant on campus when they did their purge, which there's not really a reason to think that there would be, especially considering how isolated it was. But hypothetically, like there was like a Disney replicant there or whatever. Disney would totally do replicants. We all know they would.
I mean,
Oh,
imagine
the
Small
whole acting-
World.
all
Small
of their
World
actors
is
would be replicants.
replicants.
Yep.
No, they keep
So-
losing replicants. The resolve is too low.
Yeah, so essentially, if there was like a Disney replicant caught up in the purge, they would still not necessarily be criminally liable. Just Disney could sue them for the replacement value, essentially.
So basically,
This
they
is a
just did
terrible
another
setting.
Yeah.
It's meant to point out the fuckery. Yes.
I don't want to evoke bad ideas. It's like the old like Babylonian like code of laws. Like if you kill somebody, you get killed. But if you kill somebody's slave, you just have to pay the value of the slave.
Good point. All right.
Fucked up as that is. I mean,
But it's
kind of-
very close.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, but like
Really, it's the
thing
same
is-
thing. Replicants
Yeah.
are slaves. Sure, they're paid, but they aren't paid a lot. They can't vote.
I mean,
They can't-
that's the horrible truth of the setting. But so anyway, yes, it would be difficult, especially at this point, to figure out if any of the replicants who died were non-Wayland replicants. And there's no reason to believe that there would be.
Okay.
So we focus on Dutch's murder and our attempted murder.
Plus, those are better charges to go off of anyway. So.
Oh yeah, those will hurt.
Mm-hmm. So I guess our kingpin is Neander Wallace, in my opinion.
I don't think he's involved.
Well, no.
Let's focus on one billionaire at a time.
Obviously.
I
I
mean,
would say
I've,
we
I,
could probably use
Billionaire.
Quell and Neander Wallace.
yes,
Be
I,
able to put
I,
them away.
I already have a meeting scheduled with Quell at least, and she's supposed to be getting the one with Wallace, so that's already in the works.
So,
Quell is less likely to have us murdered than Neander is.
I'll be honest, Evan, I'm not 100% sure I'll walk out of that building, depending.
Listen, he's got. I assume she has fewer hit squads than he does.
Probably.
Also, thing to bring up, Quell has some way of tracking me, and I don't know how.
I have a feeling that Wallace Core could track every replicant. Evan,
And
that's
so
just
should I bring up why do we exist?
Maybe. Wait, what?
If they can
'Cause
track
Wallace
every
Core-
replicant,
Essential thoughts,
why?
Evan?
Listen, they can
because
track
Wallace
every
Core can't be
replicant.
trusted to police itself. It's a who watches the Watchmen scenario, Evan. We exist because Wallace Core can't be trusted to police itself. She has gestured broadly to the world for this
Hold on,
reason.
slow down,
Uh,
everybody. Wallace
Evie.
Corporation is not the police, okay?
Yes.
Evie, give me an insight roll.
I'd love to. Is this So is this pertaining to Wallace Court? Because I do get advantage because of those lovely files I got, if so.
Not directly, no.
Okay, then I will just roll normally. Let's go ahead. Oh no. Here we
I
Push it
go.
twice.
I'd like to
I
suggest...
can't. I'm not a replicant, maybe. I'm 10% maybe a replicant.
I'd like to suggest if you're nervous about going to Wallace Corp, take Foster with you. He seems really excited about Wallace Corp.
Well, there it is. I got
Hey,
one
a one.
and a one.
All right, so
Lovely.
this is the revelation that shakes your entire confidence in society, civilization, life, the universe, and everything. Assuming Wallace knows where their replicants are at all times. It's unsure if Evan is a special case or not. He might be, because he is, after all, a blade-running replicant. And not one of the manual laborers. In that case, what is your role? Your role is to be very, very public about your job, to reassure the general public that there is something standing between them and the chaos possibly caused by rogue replicants. Essentially, you're a PR agent.
So yeah, I think you just watch these people dilate and undilate, and the color kind of drain from her face as she realizes she hates her job even more now.
Oh, hold on a second. I think you need a pick me up. And he puts the coffee that cup that he bought for Holden and puts it in front of the new boss. Now, have a sip of that. It'll put some pep in your step.
Thanks. All right, so here's the plan.
Did they program you to talk like that, or what?
I don't know what you mean. I've always been like this.
Okay, so at least it's not a conscious choice.
So, couple things. Everything everyone has, I'd love for you to send to me directly. So we have everything together. That'd be lovely. Cassius and Evan, I think I owe you both an apology. I have reason to believe recently that the Senator Bannister thing might not be super related, but is still something worth looking into. So if I can get whatever you found so far, also, that'd be great.
I'm sorry to ask so many questions, but I was a little bit out of the loop here when it comes to this latest case out in the desert. I'm afraid I was undergoing some.
Oh, it's not a
maintenance at the
case. Don't
time.
worry about it.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're not filing anything officially. It's not a case.
So it was really cool though because we got to see mummies.
Okay, they weren't mummies. They weren't
Did you go
wrapped
to
up.
Egypt?
No, they were just really old, desiccated corpses with no evidence on them.
Nope.
Oh, is this a hobby of yours?
Won't
What?
surprise me.
No.
We got to tip bodies in the desert, so we investigated. It's,
Oh wow, that's rare. Who gave the tip?
got to keep those sources close to the chest.
Can I roll insight on Foster to?
I would
think
also
that
love to
there
roll
was
insight
something
on
a little
Foster.
bit malicious about who was the tip.
Yep.
Sure.
Or I'll
insight versus manipulation.
Sure.
Okay.
Need a 2.
Oh God.
You want to put?
Eat shit.
Oh fuck.
No, Evie's
Look
like,
at that
oh, okay.
maximum roll from Evan.
Jeez. Wow.
I saw Evan. Evie doesn't notice shit. I am not risking to push again. I meant to
actually
fucking
eat shit.
resolve.
You're a great
That
dude.
could push me right over the edge.
I love that spread though. That's an amazing spread. All right, so
I wouldn't have
Evan.
shouted that if you hadn't said beat it too.
all right, so Evan, what in specific are you looking to get from just
I-
studying
like
Foster and
oh,
his
who's
body
the- like,
language?
So there's that, oh, who's the tip from versus, oh, who is the tip from? Like, seeming interested but not too interested, as if I really need to know who that fucking tip is from, versus I would like to know who that tip is from so I can report it on to my superiors about someone poking into shit they shouldn't be.
All right,
Because
so
Evan
Foster-
knows there's shit going on with the stuff in the desert.
All right, so Foster, what do you think that Evan would pick up from you?
Mostly that Foster is the kind of person that has his fingers in many pies at the same time, and is constantly, using that information because he was Holden's sort of like right hand, butler or whatever you want to call him. So he was always privy to all this information, and now with Holden gone, he's trying to stay up to date on everything that is happening.
Okay.
So personal interest,
so-
not so much as pass it along to my actual master.
Correct.
Okay.
At 3 successes, I will also give you that you pick up that Foster is really good at the what? In this establishment? I'm shocked, I tell you.
So you're
sort of
telling me that
reaction.
real recognizes real.
Yes.
As someone else
So-
that also has a lot of points of manipulation.
So with my absolute dog shit roll, Evie will just turn to Foster. We at the Wayland Utani facility, we encountered a reporter named Fisa. I decided to work with her to sway public opinion if we need to.
That's the Kill Magazine one.
That's yes, unfortunately.
Ah, okay. Thank you for the clarification, boss. I appreciate it.
Oh,
I will
jeez.
say, I meant to mention this earlier, totally whiffed. But on your way into the office, you would have passed by newsstands, and it seems as though Faiza has made good on her promise. So there's a super lurid cover that has nothing to do with you or your case.
Excellent. So yeah, I think Evie will have that, do not tell anyone why she's so pleased with herself, but have a copy of it on the desk.
Or
Or-
rather,
or-
I suppose that the issue would be dealing with the Vatican III protests, but she managed to use whatever influence she has to spike anything about your involvement.
Okay, great. Yeah, so let's just pool all our resources so everyone has access to everything. And we'll get Foster up to speed since he's been absent and new to us. And fortunately
appreciated.
wasn't there for the Wayland Yutani almost massacre.
Weird how
Drat.
that worked out.
Let me get you a refill.
They can get their own refill.
Foster,
We have the same job as them. They can do exactly the same thing.
Foster, I don't need you to wait on me hand and foot. I'm good. I appreciate it.
I'm here to
No,
protect and serve.
Okay.
Now,
So,
now I just imagine you have a maid uniform that says to protect and serve.
No! No,
No,
that
nope.
hurt!
nope.
Oh my god, I failed that sanity check. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, I
I missed it.
also pictured it clearly in my brain and hated every second of it.
Oh, what?
I can't hate it.
She's got handcuffs on her little poofy belt skirt.
I never said
Rachel,
that.
I
at
didn't need
all.
more. I didn't need more details to the already vivid image in my brain.
All right, putting this back on rails. So, going over the main plot points that you have discovered. So are you going to fill Foster in that you suspect Quell was behind dead mooks in the river?
So I guess that's because Evie incited that from Quell, as far as I know, and I didn't did anyone else figure that out also?
I think
Um,
she was surprised to
okay.
hear that Dutch was dead, but I don't think I connected anything with her and the team.
Okay.
I think
Um,
the specific line over the phone was that wasn't supposed to happen. Or
Yes.
something to that effect. Yeah.
Yeah, I met her in
Yeah.
person, and I didn't she was surprised that Dutch was dead.
Yeah, when Evie kind of ambushed her at the office, I incited that out of her. That was pretty sure that she killed them herself. Not even sent a squad. She did it.
So Tanner hasn't even met well, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You're not
so
missing
I
out.
don't. I think that's I think that's part of Evie's leverage that she's keeping for herself to keep targets off the team's back.
Okay.
Because if everyone on the team knows that Quell killed humans, yeah, bad.
All right, so you're gonna focus fire on Genesis, I assume?
Yes.
Currently,
Okay. So
What is the plan there?
Obviously, we know Evie. You know what you have to do there.
Yeah.
You have to talk
I'm going to
Qual.
meet with Qual, then hopefully Neander Wallace, and hopefully they'll give us the records we need to paint a big old line around Genesis.
Did you say,
In the
Foster, you wanted to
meantime-
go with her?
I appreciate the offer of protection, but I think it's just safer to go alone in terms of body count.
Well, I think.
What if you meet with her somewhere that's not their headquarters?
My intent is to get the meeting with Neander shortly after, so I suppose I can meet with her somewhere public, and then she can't, hire mercenaries to kill me in public as easily as she could have them waiting for me in Wallace Building.
I think Foster would be good to take with you because he seems like pretty connected to Wallace Court.
Does he?
Yeah, or at least excited about it.
Because he's a replicant?
No, or else I'd have suggested you to go. I'm just saying.
If
It's not just because he's a replicant. It's because he seems very enthusiastic about Wallace Court.
if Evie thinks she can handle it on her own, I feel like we can trust her judgment.
Evie, would you like to borrow a large gun?
I'm actually gonna go unarmed, Evan, but thank you.
Who are you?
That would be more suspicious for you.
What, like, let's be realistic. What am I going to do? Murder Neander Wallace?
I mean, a cop showing up without a gun is a weird message.
I'm not there to arrest anyone. I'm there to get their cooperation.
It is against regulations to show up anywhere officially without your service weapon.
Listen,
Oh,
when they sent me
no.
to schools to teach them about rep detect, I still had to bring my gun.
I see. Well, I guess I'll bring my normal sidearm then. I think they'll be I would be suspicious if someone walked in with that and she'll gesture to the massive fucking gun. I would be suspicious of anyone that walked into my office with that.
Just put it in your purse. I assume you have a purse. Out of character.
It's pretty big, Evan, but it's not that big. It's like change of shoes, clothes big, not hand cannon big.
But you can put. I'm thinking of my shoes, which are huge, which is annoying for me. So versus sawn-off shotgun, I'm like that'll fit.
So,
Talking
This
like,
is
talking
not-
like flats.
I really need to stress that this is an on the books official meeting, not an assassination attempt. I do not need a sawed-off shotgun in a purse to go
It's
visit
not
people.
sawn off. It's built that way.
so Evie is going to go talk to Wallace, try to get cooperation in regard to dealing with Genesis. We're going to try to find some sort of connection between Genesis and the hit squad, working back through camera footage and also trying to connect the payment of Genesis to the hit squad. Does that sound correct?
If we can, yes. Now,
Right.
there's one other route I think we can try, but we have to be very light with that. Cassius, do you have David's phone number?
I believe so.
You do, yes.
I can get in contact with David.
Do you need some money to buy a movie for him?
To purchase a pre-blackout print of a film will definitely cost a Chinian point.
That makes sense. I think I see
I'm
where
not
you're
saying
going.
that'd be a sure route in, but it's at least a possibility to figure out her schedule since he's what, her assistant?
Yep.
Now he may not turn, but if we can get Quinn alone with his key, does he have a cat? What do non-cops have?
Pretty much everyone, like how everyone nowadays has their smartphone. Pretty much everyone has something like a KIA.
This setting is so weird when it comes to computer technology because it's like analog in a bunch of ways, but then they had like the DG like handheld like
80s
thing.
retro futurism, baby. It's awesome.
Yeah. So what?
So if we can Rupert Murdoch that schedule out of her, we could find a way to trap Genesis somewhere.
I like that idea. I'm thinking
See
of
if I can get her schedule from him.
Just be
Alright.
very light, any pressure. He's out of here in 2 weeks. He doesn't need to get killed over that.
Foster, I guess if you want to come with me to Wallace Corps, that's fine.
Right away, boss. You got it. I'll drive.
I need to make a few stops on my own beforehand, but then we can go.
Quinn, is there
Certainly,
anything
not
that
a
you
problem.
want to do?
Oh, I think I'll tackle all the electronic stuff you guys were talking about. Like, Cassius was talking about tracking payments between Genesis and Wallace Corp. Also thinking of maybe.
Do we
like,
have Genesis's bank records?
Yeah, so that was what I was talking about earlier. You can
Yeah, get a
issue a warrant or go through Javari to get a subpoena to get those bank records. You will absolutely get them. You will also flag what you're doing.
That'll absolutely lock down David and cut that route off for us.
Right, so that's the one that you want to time very, very carefully when you decide to go do it.
So maybe when we're getting access, maybe we just like put like a back door or something on his terminal or something.
Yeah, so I would let you try
I played
and
too much
hack.
Shadowrun.
I would let you try and hack into the bank records if you want. So
We
it would
still
be a-
need like a bank to hack into.
So
like,
it would be a more difficult role, and all you would get would be the information. You would not be able to use this as evidence or as justification for a subpoena.
Okay. Then focus on the traffic routes for right now. We'll circle back around.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so where does that leave Tanner and Evan?
I think Tanner and Evan could run down the dead mercenaries, like last known addresses and next of kins, to see, or known associates for the criminal ones. Some of those guys might know other people have been picked up for said mercenary work. May have heard something. Stuff like that. Anything we could catch on that. What do you think of that, Tanner?
Perfect. Let's get her done. I like it. The more dirt we can get on them, the better.
And these guys will probably take bribes.
I doubt it.
We got the easy job.
We do. We did the easy job, and I'm kind of happy about that.
Do you though? You.
Hey, we're just busting
Maybe.
we're just fucking with low life scum. We're not going into like Death Trap Central or
And family. We're going into the family home.
yeah.
I mean, you can think that's where you're going. All right. So,
Hope for the best.
just making sure I have this correct. Evie and Foster going to speak to Quell and hopefully Neander Wallace. Quinn is going to cuddle up to the computers. Cassius is going to cuddle up to David. While Tanner and Evan are going to go cuddle up to some criminals.
100%.
And ex-military folks.
Yes.
Yes. Besides the
Some
extra
of
stops,
whom
Nate's
maybe
gonna
war
make by herself.
I'm sorry?
I said besides the extra steps, Evie has a couple extra steps before she goes to Wallace Court
Okay.
with
let's-
Foster.
Let's start with those extra steps. Where's yes, Quinn?
Player question.
Yes.
For Evie, also God. Did Jessica Utani ever get back with anything for Evie shaking the family tree?
So I believe the impression Evie got at the end of the funeral was that Jessica was only going to talk to my boss, not to me anymore, after the incident at the funeral.
Okay.
So so technically Quinn probably has the easiest access to that information if it happens, because it's going to go to Joshi now.
All right. So, Evie, what were these errands that you're gonna take your new buddy Foster with?
So I assume there's still like crappy small credit unions and not just massive banks and stuff.
Um,
I need lock boxes that wouldn't be at like Chase, where like people like
yeah, like
yeah.
lockboxes, you can totally get like a third party.
Perfect.
Kind of sketchy.
Yeah, she wants sketchy. She wants sketchy. She wants sketchy that corpos would not ever deign to look at or fuck with.
Okay.
So there.
Yeah, I'm certain that like mailbox stores would exist in this place. And so you could definitely get one that brags about their high security.
Perfect. So she would like to open. Hold on. I think only 2 lock boxes, and she's going to have backups of all of the files she has on
Okay.
this shit show, including Holden's files, and put them on like thumb drives or whatever. And then she's going to set up on her KIA that if I don't stop this from ascending, it sends like the access code. One goes to FISA, and one goes to her sister's email to be opened far later in the future.
Okay.
That is the things that she would like to accomplish.
Okay, so essentially, do you want to have like a daily alert on your KIA unit where if you
Yes.
don't click the button,
If I want it to be, if I don't push in a certain number, like whatever, you know, like, so if I'm not around to push these numbers in, they get sent out. Yeah. Dead them switch. That's what she's planning, just in case it goes badly at Wallace.
okay.
I'd like to call it a corpse toggle.
Ooh,
I
corpse
like
toggle.
that.
I like that.
I just said dead thumb switch, but corpse toggle works. I like that.
Yeah, one for FISA, one for her sister, because presumably someday her sister will wake up and can lead the charge.
Okay. Was that the only thing you wanted to do, or were there more?
I think the other thing is a little too long because she wants to. The other thing I was going to attempt to do was because I know Sadie's off world now. I was going to just send the files and be like, hey, if I pass, like, here's this stuff. You do with it what you like. But that would require like tracking down Styles, getting Styles to give me Sadie's new identity and how to get a hold of her. So that feels like too much. So we'll just leave that for later.
Okay, cool. All right, and Cassius wanted to have a conversation with Quinn before Quinn gets too embroiled in the computer work. So, Cassius, take it away.
Quinn, speak to you for just a moment.
Okay.
Don't worry. I think you're gonna like what I have to say.
Ransock, am I gonna have to throw soup at you again?
Actually, Quinn, I do think you're going to like what I have to say. I need you to stab me.
What?
Look,
Why?
look. We're sorry, out of character. Is everyone now aware that there are these secret kind of replicants being sprinkled out in the world?
Is that something that you would have wanted to share during the team meeting?
Evan is absolutely not aware of that.
Evie is 100% aware of that, but
So
did
has-
not say anything.
Evie has not said it. Okay. All right.
And
That's
Tanner's
all.
suspicious.
Okay. So
He has been
With-
directly told.
with that knowledge, because I also did not specifically share it. Okay. Look, the reason I act the way that I do sometimes for a very specific reason. Holden was concerned, and he's always concerned about this, so take it with a grain of salt. But Holden was concerned of a secret, unknown, unregistered replicant on the team. One planted by a corp to watch us. So, when I get a rise out of people, I'm testing.
Did you fucking void conf me?
Not officially. So, here's what it seems. I'm fairly confident you were human. I'm fairly confident Evie's human. We know for a fact Evan and Foster are replicants. That means that it's either me or Tanner.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't be so worried about it if it was not. Wait, you wouldn't be so worried about it if it was you, because you're concerned about compromising the team, right?
Yeah, the team. That's what I'm worried about. The team. The point being is this. There's no easy way to determine these unregistered replicants. They don't have the serial number for easy access. So I need you to open me up.
I don't think I'm gonna need to do that. And if I did, I would probably use some at least local anesthetic. I'm gonna just go out on a limb here and say they probably don't put secret serial numbers on your organs because those are squishy.
It's on the bones.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
gonna-
that's where I was leading up to.
yeah.
They'll probably put it on your bones or maybe a filling. I wonder if you have a transmitter in your teeth. But anyway, X-rays.
Would it show up on an X-ray? Those
Probably.
are engraved in. I don't think those are going to show up.
I mean, we don't know till we try.
I need to see it with eyes, not machine.
But you'd be seeing the pictures with your eyes.
No.
I don't know how to be able to check your bones without you being dead.
You said local anesthesia, and luckily,
Do you know how many bones you have, Cassius?
yeah.
You
so just
only
get
need to
one.
test one.
Yeah, get to one. Quinn, I need this. I need to know. Because if Tanner's done half the shit that he says he has, he can't be a replicant. And if he is, that's a problem.
But you're gonna owe me.
We'll talk about it afterwards.
You want me to cut you open, stick my fingers under your skin, poke around at your bones, and you're not even gonna promise me that you'll owe me something in return?
Kind of just smirk. Quinn, I honestly kind of assumed that would be the favor.
I think you misjudge my character just a little bit.
Okay. Then I apologize. Look, I don't know what I can owe you, but I need to know this. So it's either you help me or I figure out another way.
I
On
will
my own.
help you. I didn't say I wouldn't.
Okay.
I don't get joy out of hurting people.
I'm not asking you to hurt me. I'm asking you to help me.
I know that, but I'm just saying you thought I'd get joy out of stabbing you.
Not so much the stabbing as the operating part.
I mean, that is fascinating. I've never poked inside of someone who was alive before.
And I'll
You mean you've
Pat-
never done a vivisection?
pat you on the shoulder. Well, first time for everything.
All right, let's pop your cherry.
All right. So, how exactly do you go about this? You can use one of the med labs and LAPD. There's a lot. Uh, you might incur some interesting questions.
It's fine. He's got a splinter. That's all it is.
Okay.
No, um, I mean that's probably the best place for it. Just the most sanitary and whatnot. Maybe locking one of those rooms so no one goes in there, like closed for cleaning or whatever, or evidence do not enter.
Sure. You could put it under interdict authority of RDU.
Whatever that means. Yes.
Reptitech unit.
Oh.
That's what you work for.
Oh,
That's your
I've never
job.
heard it said like that before.
Is there no time? All right,
Oh.
so you've got Cassius in the med lab, and so we'll say that this includes most of the equipment that you would expect to see at a doctor's office. So scalpels, syringes, some drugs, with a blend of what you would expect to see in a forensic lab. So microscope, centrifuge, things like that.
Quinn will administer. I think probably the safest and easiest to see would probably be a finger on his least used hand. Probably between the knuckle.
So here's the other thing that might change how you do go about this, or it might not. There is no knock you out anesthetic. There's nothing that would
Oh, no.
render Cassius unconscious.
I
don't
didn't
want
think
to be
so.
unconscious.
I
Okay.
would not either. It would be like a minor local anesthetic.
Okay.
Because I'm doing this because I'm,
Lidocaine.
using the mirrors and whatnot. I want to see if I have a serial number on my bone, not an X-ray, not a picture.
Jesus Christ.
I need to see if I
Okay.
am human.
You will need a microscope to do this. I don't know
Okay.
if that counts.
You're gonna have to trust me, Cassius.
But you will be able to see it through the microscope with your own eyeballs.
That's fine. If it's like the live, sure. I'll take
Okay.
that.
All right. Wow. So
I think I don't want to overload you with too many rolls. So
So,
all right. So this is going to be for Quinn. This is going to be a medical aid roll. I'm going to assign it at 4 successes. Every success you get short of 4 does a point of damage to Cassius.
Oh god.
I've got 2 so far.
Okay. Would you like to try and push?
Uh,
I'd push that too.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
are we playing with the normal push rules? Or are we sticking with what we've done so far?
We have
Believe,
gone to the
based
bad
on
ones.
last week, we are in sudden death.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in the
yes.
we're bad times now.
Okay.
Well, so it doesn't really apply to this roll because Quinn didn't roll a 1 on this one. So they might roll a 1 on that too. They might roll better.
But doesn't any push involve invoke a?
No, it is simply if you. So the way that I was doing it is that if you rolled a 1 on the initial roll, that would not carry forward and fuck you in the push roll. But going back and reviewing rules as written, no, it does fuck you. So if you roll a 1 on your
Okay.
first roll, you're okay, you're fine. But if you decide to push, you do so knowing you're just automatically going to take that damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So I'll be like squirming and like just you got the anesthesia in, but you're going so deep towards the bone that it's just only getting so deep, so you can tell like it's like I don't know if are you doing the finger or are you going in through my wound, my open stitched wound?
You
Finger.
have muted yourself.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it'll be your finger because there's less material to go through.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
So you're basically flaying like my left pinky, I assume.
Just between the
Oh,
knuckles
only
there.
partially flaying. Okay, great.
Partially flaying. Okay. So would you
So-
like to push that roll
So yeah, so just
and try and do less damage to poor Cassius?
like you can see the pain and grit even with the anesthetic. It's like
All you'd feel is pressure. But anyway,
That's not an answer to the question, though.
I think I'm gonna push that too.
Okay.
Because I can't just like roll more, can I?
Not unless you brought someone in to give you advantage, and it's a little too late for that now.
Alrighty.
Oh.
Okay.
Did that really do that? Did that really do
Did.
2 and 11 and 2 and 11? Okay.
Yeah.
ah,
All right. So, Quinn, you are really not used to doing this for a live victim, and like seeing the sweat bead on Cassius's forehead. He's trying to power through it to be brave, but it's still like fuck ow. It's all a little disconcerting, and you know that you're not doing as good a job that you could do if you're doing this on a cadaver. So Cassius takes 2 points of health damage.
You know, if you would just quit sweating, I would quit slipping. So stop it.
Probably, Cassius is not really going to be able to use his left hand for much in the relatively near future.
luckily
but you
I'm
do-
right-handed and I use a one-handed weapon.
Someone else gets to drive the spinner.
I was very specific for a reason, so there.
Okay. All right. But you end up with it. You end up with the fragment of bone that you needed.
Or I suppose like the little tiny finger bone that you needed. That's what you're going for, right?
Yeah.
Well, so what I envisioned was make an incision and then you use tools to spread the skin and whatever else is under there, and then
Okay,
put
so
that
you're
under
not
the
removing
microscope.
the bone.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So then that would be essentially what does the damage, because you could just
Sure.
like get a fucking meat cleaver and go whap.
I could have taken
That's
the
what I
pinky.
was gonna do if you said no.
Yeah.
Yakuza style.
Yeah, so okay, so that is what does the damage, is that you're trying
Sure,
to try and sew him back up, which you will be able to do, but extra healing time.
I got you the pink sutures, so you could match
I
me.
don't care about the sutures.
All
I
right.
need to see. I need to see.
Okay.
For the next step of this, you're going to need another 4 successes, but I will allow one of you to make a tech roll and one of you to make an observation roll.
Observation.
I've got an
Please.
A in tech, so
Okay, so Quinn, you go first.
1 success.
Okay.
Push.
Push that crap.
Okay.
You gonna push the 2?
Push the 2.
I am.
Jeez Louise, man.
Ouch.
You're. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Does anyone want to give me some bend violence?
Observation.
Trade
You
it
should have
again
rerolled
earlier.
the 8. Okay, there's the violence.
All right. Observation. You said.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. I'm gonna push that 4.
Okay.
Jesus. Wow.
Okay. So,
Resolve. Demon.
all right. So, first question. The benevolence that Drea purchased earlier. In context, I'm pretty sure she was getting it for Evie. So, if Evie wants to gift that to either one, I will allow you to roll an extra die.
You have a very important meeting coming up.
I'm very torn about this. Like,
You have a very important
Leave them in
meeting.
doubt.
Okay.
I'm
Here's-
gonna hang on to it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
No.
friends. I'm sorry.
Bzz,
Perfect.
someone touched the
All right.
sides.
Mel just got you. Mel just got you. Mel redeemed bed violence.
Melly Mel.
Oh, and
And-
Betty redeemed malevolence.
Mel.
Yay.
How dare you, Betty? After all the Mothman we've been through.
The audience giveth and Betty taketh away.
All right. So,
The serial code has 666 in it.
all right. So one of you gets 1 free reroll, or an extra die, as if it were advantage.
Steve, you or me?
Which role's more important?
So they're not necessarily more important than the other one. It's just they need to get to a combined total of 4 successes.
Got it.
So
Wait,
Quinn
did
has
whatever-
better chances, I think.
whatever dice you roll something that has a really good chance of rolling a 10.
Well, I got 1 success for tech, the second, and then yeah, we did
No.
4 total.
No, it's only the tech that goes up to we have 2 so far.
Oh.
They're 2 separate roles, basically.
Yeah.
Mel did another bend violence, by the way.
All right, so I will let you both re-roll your highest die.
Okay. You first, Quinn.
Let me find out what the highest die is. Is a
Uh,
D12.
Okay.
Oh no, 3.
Gosh.
We're just not. Wow. Okay.
And I only have a D10.
Pray you get a 10.
And I will tell you this ahead of time. All right.
Oh
So
my god.
here's the choice
Okay.
that I'm going to present to you.
Okay.
Currently, you do not see any serial number through the microscope on the bone. However, you realize you're not looking at it from every angle. So, if you're willing to permanently disable yourself, I will give you those 2 more successes for free.
Wait.
Don't listen to
Or-
Tanner. He
Question,
knows you can
is this
just.
essentially
He
like
knows
a
you can just cut his
critical-
hands off instead.
Take a pinky off. Like,
Yeah, so Cassius, you could tell Quinn, so you back up,
Okay.
make your conclusion, and just be, a little bit haunted. Or you could know for sure at a cost.
Yeah.
So, mechanically, what this would be is forever after, any time that you're trying to do a task that requires both hands. So, like using a shotgun, driving a spinner, you would always do it at disadvantage.
no multitasking for you.
I look my hand. I'm just thinking through what this means. Because right now, Tanner's the replicant.
Okay. All right.
So
Roll me one more d10 though.
just a D10.
Yep, just a d10. All right. So the offer stands.
Oh, oh, oh.
I should feel I need to point out that Cassius only got halfway with Evie, by the way. On the Voight comp.
Right. I'm also playing off the fact that just you have put guns in people's mouths and generally interacted in a way that does not seem replicant. Like I'm,
Yep, I'm good with it. I just wanted to remind you,
yes,
just in case.
Yes. Okay. Oh, wow. So I'm just looking at my hand. It's already opened up, and like my hand kind of flickers a little bit, and I
It's
just
not
see,
your whole hand.
well, my finger, my hand, right? So my finger is opened up, and it's just that moment where I'm looking and I'm seeing the mechanical nature of muscle and tendon as it moves, and take it off.
What? I don't think I heard you correctly.
That's not enough. It's not certain.
Cassius, you're talking about removing part of your finger for no reason other than you're curious about some stupid numbers.
Take it off.
I mean, you could always get it replaced with like a really cool augmetic finger.
It's got
Darth
a,
Vader
it's got
finger.
a pen light on it.
Exactly.
It's got a pen in it. Cassius, look, if you're gonna remove anything, a pinky toe is probably better, or even like one of.
It's actually not. You need your pinky toes to balance.
Yeah.
Okay, retconning that. Why do you why is this so important? Help me make it make sense.
They're just things you need to know. Look, it's one of two things. Either I'm a replicant, and my body's not mine anyway, so cut it off, or I'm human, and it's mine, and cut it off.
Congratulations. You want me to put it on a necklace for you? Why don't you avoid Conf Tanner before you do anything so permanent?
We don't have time to slow roll this anymore.
Why? Did someone stick a bomb in you or something?
Because I'm tired of not knowing. Because
What
we're
would it change?
about to stick our necks out on something with some very powerful people. And if one of us isn't who we say we are, or is not knowing what they're doing, we got to figure this out. So Quinn, here's where it's at. Either you take the tip of this finger off and we investigate the entire bone, or I'm going to grab the sharpest thing and start cutting.
You're lucky that I don't just jab you with some ketamine or whatever. Fine.
Cash is full of cat tranquilizer.
Ketamine. Just. You've caused me a lot of emotional damage, I'll have you know.
At least you know your emotions are yours.
You know, there's a very philosophical argument I could make, but I'm not going to.
Good.
Before proceeding with chopping off the pinky, just the tip, Quinn will just. Have you ever seen the commercial? Should have had a V8 thunk. That's what Quinn's going to do to Cassie. Just thunk on your forehead.
Okay. All right. So, I'm not going to make you roll for medical tech again. You've already rolled. And this was a pretty punishing set of die rolls. So, you successfully remove the tip joint of Cassius's pinky. It hurts a lot, Cassius. And so, again, if you ever any task you do that requires both hands, you're at disadvantage. Unless you decide to go to Animoid Row, get like a cool augmetic. That will probably be expensive.
Very expensive, yeah.
Probably in more than one way.
So, I mean, preserve the fingertip in some ice and you can take it to the hospital and get them to reattach it, honestly.
I'm not worried about that. Get it under a mic.
So how'd you lose this finger?
Goes out of character.
No. Quinn, you don't understand. You have to clean that so that there's only bone left. I need to see everything.
I guess I can't leave it in my beetle tank. I have to put it in boiling water. Have I ever shown you my flesh-eating beetles?
No, you have not.
Quinn.
All right. So, you clean the bone as best you can with what you have, and you put it back under the microscope, and you look at the side of it that you couldn't see when it was just a flayed finger. And there, on the finger bone, serial number 11-00X-3.
Boom! Called it.
I knew it.
And on that note, we will go on break. We'll see you all in 10 minutes, everybody.
See, now I've got the proper cue, and we can
And you
jam.
blew it.
So, we are going to return right to where we left off. Cassius, bandaged, bleeding finger, looking at the clearly marked serial number on your pinky bone. So, the first question that I have for Steve is, would you have taken any sort of steps to try and hide this from Quinn?
No, because I've been pretty straightforward of why I was doing this. It's not like I've been like, oh, I
Okay.
got a hurt fingy. They've known the entire time.
All right, so Quinn, you are seeing the same thing. So currently, you are the only two people who have this information. And so the scene returns to you.
Yes,
You can't tell anyone.
You've been so resolute on finding out, and
Quinn, you can't tell anyone.
well, what? Why?
Well, because he loses all his civil rights. Most people know.
Why are you laughing at that?
Because it's
We-
hilarious.
We laugh because it hurts.
Don't laugh at
Um,
Robo Jim Crow.
Also, Quinn, you're also legally obligated to retire Cassius right now
Right this
as
second.
as a Blade Runner.
You
He's
have
killed people.
You have some discretion here.
Has he
I-
killed anyone?
I have one of the hit squad.
The hit squad. He absolutely killed someone.
Did they see it?
Yeah, I shot them right in front of all of y'all.
It was also in protection of his squad, so
And himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but replicants aren't supposed to be able to do that. Evie would be on the side of like, let's not kill Cassius. I'm just saying, legally speaking, that is a replicant that has killed people.
Storyline
Legally, he'd
speaking,
be
it's
dead.
I do not need to. I do not want to fucking pull another new character into the group.
I agree.
Yes, also that. But I'm just saying, for in terms of the law, yeah,
Foster's
we're supposed to
already
kill
in-
Cassius.
I will say that it's not as cut and dried as all that. It's definitely suspicious. Yeah, you probably should. Like, if it comes out later, and Cassius kills more people, you might have some hairy questions if other people figure out that you knew. But it's not like you'd immediately get fired if someone else found out right now.
yes, he is. I mean, you didn't know you were a replicant, and you were acting in defense of your squad and yourself.
Doesn't matter. What do you can't put them in that situation.
I mean, I don't think they would turn you in. I mean, maybe
Evan and
Canada would,
Foster don't
but-
have a choice. Evie sticking her neck out for replicants, yeah, that'll happen. That's just one more thing she's got to worry about. God fucking knows what Tanner will do.
Wait, you've been able to kill and lie. What does this mean for what kind of replicant you are?
Like I said, whoever the secret replicant was, unregistered, unofficial custom.
And I will give you this for free because you're Blade Runners. This is your job. You filled out
lots of retirement paperwork. And you filled out lots of serial numbers of the replicants that you've retired. So you're used to the format that they're in. This is not a format that you're used to or that you've ever seen before.
Mhm.
Oh, your replacement parts. Oh, no wonder. Cassie's, are you okay? Are you?
Don't be suspicious.
How are you feeling right now?
However, I've been told to feel. So fine. I'm fine.
Cassius, you're full of shit. How do you feel?
Like part of me has just been cut off.
Literally.
Literally or metaphorically or both?
Use context.
I'm gonna say both.
Quinn, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Right now. I've done things I'm not supposed to be able to do. I've done things that I would retire myself in certain situations. I wouldn't let me walk out of this room.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not you. I wonder
don't-
if we could get you a meeting with Quell or Neander like Evie's doing.
No.
Why? They already
Because-
know.
But they don't know that I know.
Okay, well, but we can find out why they put you here, like for real, because it's not like you're going back and reporting to them. It's true and you know it.
I don't know. I don't know why they put me here.
That's what
But-
we should find out.
I have to go.
Where? Where are you go? Cassius.
Get up, go.
Quinn is just gonna yeet some blood rags in your general direction, and they slap the door on your way out, and they just slide down.
I'll
Okay.
stop and kind of just still looking at the door, just sort of look at the blood as it's streaking down the door. Thank you, Quinn.
You still owe me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll open the door and leave.
Okay. So where does Cassius go next?
Oh, gosh.
You can, if you want, decide to completely burn this investigation shift for just, you know what, I need to go process, and explaining this to my squad mates is a problem for future me. Quinn, same option for you as well, because this is also like some pretty heavy news that you've been given.
Yeah, I think I would do the bombshell wandering around processing
Okay.
shift.
I will say though that your plan, Cassius, was to so here's the other option. or I suppose argument for the other choice is you were planning to go talk to David.
Right.
That would be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, and Quinn, you can also decide just what some people do when like something really traumatic happens, they just sort of go on autopilot. And so you could absolutely be either like, I need time to process this, or I'm going to process this by completely forgetting about it and immersing myself in work.
One would probably immerse themselves in work.
Okay. All right. So Cassius, now that I've sort of presented you with the angel and the devil, because you will get to talk to David eventually.
Right. I didn't think that was like super time sensitive.
Okay.
I would like to spend the shift not working, thinking,
Okay.
processing, wandering, and specifically doing some walking, doing some wanderings. And so, okay. I'm gonna wander around and end up back at it's not there. What was our very first case as a team? That bar where the replicant team.
Oh, yeah.
The snake
What's the
pit.
name of that bar?
Snake
The Snake
Pit.
Pit. I'm gonna end up back at the Snake Pit
Okay.
and just kind of trying to get blasted there.
Sure. It's been long enough since your first case that they've cleaned up, they've plastered over the bullet holes, and they're back open for business.
Mm.
And you partake of the entertainment, which is primarily doxy replicants. And so watching these people up there dancing, singing, performing, knowing that like this is what they were created for, they know their purpose. They've been told since their incept date, you're a doxy. That's what this means. Now go be a doxy. You can
Right.
process that information however you want. But that does occur to you. Okay, and Quinn, to cap off this extended scene, give me one tech roll, please.
Oh. Don't fuck it up. 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 Yay, 3 successes.
There you go. Good job.
Where were you an hour ago? All right.
Quinn is just so focused trying to drown out what just happened. And,
Okay.
After cleaning up the blood rags.
That wonderful contribution from Bryn. I agree, Bryn. So, with 3 successes, yes, you pretty easily find the essentially cargo spinners, SUV spinners. You see them leaving Los Angeles about an hour before you were attacked, and using the LA Esper system, you can very easily track them back where they left from the Weyland-Yutani building. And with 3 successes, I will let you backtrack even a little bit farther, because normally you had been like, oh, okay, I tracked them to Weyland-Yutani. Hooray. But you're not ready to get up yet. You're not ready to turn this in. You're not ready to talk to anybody. And so you keep working and you keep trying to backtrack. And so you also get the footage of not necessarily SUV spinners, but individual spinners of the mercenaries leaving Wallace Court and gathering at Weyland-Yutani.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and so there's about an hour, 90 minutes of lag in between the arrival and the departure. And you have no way of knowing what happened in those 90 minutes, like what they might have been briefed, what they might have been told. But this is pretty solid evidence combined with what Tanner has to present to the ADA shenanigans.
So Quinn is going to document this in 2 flash drives
Okay.
and 1 paper file.
All
one
right.
Paper dossier. First flash drive, keeping on their person. Second
Okay.
flash drive, keeping in a place they have access to where someone would least expect Quinn to have their flash drive.
Okay.
And then the paper stuff in their office.
All right. Sounds good. So you still don't have anything that deliberately connects Genesis to the attack, but you certainly have enough to subpoena her for a deposition, maybe. Okay. Cool. And so with that, we will shift our camera. So let's go. All right, let's go to Tanner and Evan. So I would like one of you, you can decide who does it, to make me an observation roll, please.
Can we both do it, or you just want one of us to do it?
One person, please.
Is your observation good?
I got a B,
I have a C.
so mine's better. Okay, hitting it. 1 success. I'm gonna re-roll this 3.
Okay.
2 successes.
Well done. All right. So, you go through lists of known associates, of records, of, service records, post-service records, criminal records, and you find a thread of commonality in that they all seem to be part of, let's call it a single rider spinner enthusiast club.
Oh,
Looks like these guys are car guys.
so like, would that include like dirt bikes, spinners?
Could be, yeah.
Fuck.
And so they all seem to hang around 2 particular businesses. One is essentially a mechanics shop, specializes in restoring pre-blackout gasoline vehicles. These are very expensive, very antique, and the mechanic shop is known to be extremely exclusive. There's a wait list, years long. If you want to buy one, if you've bought one and want one worked on, you're going to be waiting a while. And then attached to that is a bar. By attached, I mean they share a wall.
Listen, I'm just gonna say, are Tanner and Evan about to get in some sort of buddy cop bar brawl?
Oh yeah, there you go.
That would be fucking sick. We're gonna get our asses kicked.
Did we just drop into the middle of 48 hours?
Well, we can take the bar, or what do you know about cars, especially antique cars?
Nothing.
Any memories of that crap?
No.
No. So, could I add to my backstory that I used to have one back in the day?
Sure, if you want to give up a Chinian point.
You're killing me here.
Don't you have like 10?
Well, I've been using them a lot, and I have 6. I used to have 12.
You still have much more than
12?
most of us.
I started with one and have
Why
one.
why do you think IA is investigating him?
Yeah.
Hey, wow! Look at
I
that
think you
cotton
have
around
more
just
than the
still
rest of
growing
us
$1,000
combined.
Stacks around.
Yep.
Do you have that specialty that just gets you more every session?
No, that's just his archetype is the dirty cop one, and they
Yeah.
just start with a fuck ton of Chinyan points.
Mm-hmm. Well, considering the fact that I have IA on me, I'm not gonna do it because, yeah.
Oh, you're
reasons.
saying you don't want to just drive up in a classic 2006 Honda Accord every day?
Oh, you know it.
This baby's mint.
Yeah.
Retrofitted to have a little jetpack so it still flies.
Yep.
It's an Accord. It's not that heavy.
I drive
That works.
below the smog.
Well, which one do you want to take? You wanna take the bar or the bar?
I think we should stick together on this one.
I may be right. Well, considering there's a giant wait line and to this dealership, I think we should check out the bar first. See what we can find there. It'd be easier to get into.
Sure.
What do you think?
I mean, I think we look like fucking cops.
Exactly. Do you think we should change? Why don't we do some Starsky and Hutch? Oh, you maybe don't know what that is. Maybe we'll get some disguises.
You don't know what that is.
What? How do you not know? Okay.
The blackout.
Wait, are we
That
talking about
destroyed
classic
every
Starsky and
copy.
Hutch or the Ben Stiller Starsky and Hutch?
Either one, don't matter.
Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
All right.
Yeah, it turned into a buddy.
All right. Well, what do you think?
I think we should just go in as fucking cops.
I agree. But I
Otherwise,
also think
we're
there'd be a
gonna
little
have
bit
to go
more
in without
loose tongue if
guns.
They weren't talking to a cop. But whatever. We'll do your way.
Listen,
Yeah,
one of
we'll
them
go to
might
the bar.
one of them might have an active warrant on them. So
Which is why they would not want to talk to us.
yeah, we could act like we didn't see them if they talk to us.
Okay. Let's see how this happens.
Look, to make it easier, you look them up. I won't say a thing.
Okay. Let the chaos begin.
Mm-hmm. What's the name of the bar?
It has no name.
A bar
And
with
is this
no name.
like a traditional like biker gang?
Motorcycle
That's
club,
shit.
as Twin Dad would say. It's
Yep.
a club,
Sorry.
not a gang.
Sorry.
He has
They-
corrected
Biker
me on that so many times.
They are an enthusiast club
Okay.
They are
Yeah.
hobbyists.
with, some restrictive membership requirements.
There's no way I can bring the shotgun in right now. So let's stay in the car.
Yeah. No. I'm gonna say just to make sure if this goes south, we need another exit. Just to make sure. So, I'm gonna do a kind of a quick scan of the bar once we get in. I think we should talk to anybody right away.
All right. So, you arrive at this nameless bar, which, despite it being like, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, it is open. And so, there are a couple people in there, getting their breakfast beer. You notice that they all are wearing the same sort of, synthetic leather jacket.
No one wearing a real leather jacket.
They don't bring in that much money. Or rather, the money they do spend, they would rather spend on, really cool motorcycle parts, instead of actual cow leather. So, um, essentially what happens is you walk in, and what little conversation is going on between the, like, about half a dozen bar patrons and the bartender stops as soon as you walk in. And so you're going in as, like, we're clearly plainclothes cops.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
You're
You're
on mute.
muted.
I would let Evan take lead and go in first because I know how
Sure.
this is going.
Gonna go in, straight in my
The
little
replicant
blazer.
urge.
Yep.
Listen, I think I'm more durable than the humans, so that's fine.
You are, in fact, more durable than the human. So, you walk in. You can tell almost immediately that you're made as plainclothes undercover cops.
Perfect.
And-
I would like to roll insight to see who really reacts to that, as opposed to just, oh, 5-0, better not talk.
Okay,
Versus,
go ahead.
oh god, the cops. What the, I'm here. That kind of thing.
Go ahead and give me that insight roll, please.
I'm not gonna push that. One success.
Okay. You can tell that, so you see a whole bunch of, like, glances being exchanged, and what you also see happen is the bartender looks to a particular older gentleman, who gives, like a quiet nod. So you can tell that there's, like, some nonverbal communication that happened very briefly between the two of them, and you know that's the guy he looked to.
Is that guy at the bar or at a table?
He's at the bar.
Cool.
He's at the very end of the bar. And so
Are you still letting me take the lead, Tanner?
So
I gotta
I mean,
move.
Tanner would
gotta.
would not have seen any of this.
Okay, I was say I got a move here.
All right.
Well, could I do observation to see if I did see that?
Sure. I will give you an observation.
Okay. 2 successes, and I'm not pushing that.
Okay. So, for you, it's not necessarily that you pick up, the exchange between the bartender and the older gentleman. It's that you can tell that everyone just sort of glances to that guy, looking for cues on how to behave. And, with 2 successes, yeah, the general vibe is, hey everybody, it's Shut the Fuck Up Friday.
Yeah. So I know that this guy is probably king shit, basically.
Or
He
at least
certainly has-
lieutenant shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has some position of influence or leadership. And so what happens is, Evan, you see this exchange, and then the bartender turns to you and says, you two lost?
I will walk straight up to him with a big smile on my face. Hello, badge. I am EVA6U. I'm here to invest. I'm here looking up the disappearance of these 6 men. Display photographs to him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we don't serve skin jobs here.
I'm not asking for a drink. I'm asking to help, the cause of justice. I understand that they were patrons of this establishment.
So, just a very brief glance. Half a second. Never seen him.
Take another look.
Takes
Or I'll have
another
the
look.
health department in here to take another look.
Takes another look.
And I just rub my finger on the countertop and just like look at it.
Okay. It's got that nice level of Blade Runner type grime, like no matter how much you clean and you wipe and you scrub, there's always that smog grit that gets in and everywhere.
Where's their health? Is there a health department letter up?
Oh. We'll say yes, but it's very, very old.
Man, I'd hate to see what someone would find in an establishment like this. I know you run a tight ship around here. I can just tell from the way you carry yourself.
So, he grumbles something under his breath about
Well,
skin jobs.
What was that?
And then looks at the files. Says, "Nah, don't recognize him."
I'm sorry,
boss.
could you learn to enunciate? Did you not learn that in your human school?
So at this point, the bartender turns to Tanner, says, "What's your name?"
Did you get my side message?
I'm clicking over right now.
I feel like I would have definitely done some work with these guys.
All right, go ahead and do a connections roll. We'll see what comes up.
I'll re-roll that 5. Why not?
Okay.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Good.
I was gonna keep sassing this dude.
Okay. So, I will say with 3 successes, you would have been here before. Not frequently, and certainly not to drink. You know, you're not allowed to drink here unless you're actually a member of the Enthusiast Club. But you would have been here for, like, drop-offs, to meet someone, to pick something up, to give information. And so you know, essentially, that these people are deep into the underworld and to criminal intents. Mostly smuggling, moving stuff from one place to another, moving, really valuable stuff, like, every so often in this game, someone has been able to be drinking the real alcohol and not alcohol-flavored synthahol. These are the guys who can knock over a spinner, get a couple cases, and then sell it on the black market. That's what they do. So, absolutely criminal. But they also keep a real tight ship.
Okay, so is it too much to say that I at least know this guy and we're on a first name basis? Can I say that?
I won't say first name basis, but he's seen you before. You've had interactions with him before. It's always been very impersonal, very businesslike, very like, I'm here for the money if you've got the stuff. I've got the stuff if you've got the money.
So, fuck, I'm gonna have to use another Chinian point, but I got a plan.
So, what happens now, because now that we've established that this bartender who, oh goodness, alright, behind the name, don't fail me now. Jimmy Roy Dirt Greaser, god damn it.
Oh, wow.
That's an incredible name. Why are you saying God damn it?
Jimmy Royd.
Dirt Greaser.
Dirt Greaser.
I have to post this screen cap. These names are amazing. Alright, so Jimmy Roy
I wish
Dirt
Dave
Greaser.
had heard that.
I'm sorry?
I wish Twin Dad had heard that name.
He's been hanging out in chat tonight. He might have. Okay. Yeah, behind the name gave you some names. Alright. So Jimmy Roy
The
turns
fact
to
that you didn't pick Thid Kuza Power King kind of is upsetting.
I don't know how to pronounce
What
that.
are these first names?
Coriander Tracks is an NB name. We like spices or plants.
Coriander
Oh.
Sunstreaker is not a biker name. That's like a Zoomer on Twitter name.
Because you're that upset, we will name
We're not upset.
we'll name the older gentleman at the bar Vidkaus.
What?
Vidkausha. I don't know how to pronounce it, that's why I didn't pick it.
Why don't you just name him like Brandy with like 4 H's in it. Because this guy's probably a millennial or millennial child, so he probably has a really dumb name.
I mean, it's 2048, so he's definitely no. He's like a Zoomer who got old.
Ugh.
That's right. Zoomers were bullying you. All
So,
right. So
I
what happens is Jimmy Roy looks to you, Tanner.
Jimmy Roy's the bartender?
Yes. And says, "You let skin jobs talk like that?"
Listen, I'm surprised you're able to talk at all, pal.
got a lot to learn. Unless he's part of the team, you know.
Yeah, well, get your teammate on a leash.
I got this.
I will also say, because it should be very clear in carrying your 3 successes forward, you would know this is absolutely an empathist bar. Humans only.
Humans only.
That's yours if you want it.
I mean, I think we got a good shot if we push the... We're looking for a cop killer, human cop killer line.
No, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say... thing is you're right. We are looking for something. And we are looking for someone who want information. But I didn't come empty-handed. I'll talk to your boss, but... You know.
I'm the sole owner and proprietor here, and I can tell you, ain't seen these guys. Not ever.
So, what these guys do is they smuggle crap, correct?
Violent robbery and smuggling.
Okay, so they do rob. So I'm gonna say, you know, I had this old buddy back where I live, and I'm gonna tell him he's actually a car enthusiast, just like you guys. And I'm gonna say he had something kind of like started with a G. The car was, I think it was a GTO. One of those like pre-blackout, like extremely rare cars that you probably would never find.
Yeah, heard about them.
Yeah. I guess you tell me what I need to know. Probably give you maybe the area, you know.
So, at this point, the older gentleman, who we've named something unpronounceable, Vidkausha, his friends call him Tad, leans over, and looks, says, "Yep, I recognize him." And the bartender looks a little concerned when this happens, and he just sort of waves away like it's fine, it's fine. Says, "Yep, they had something going on. I haven't seen any of them since."
They give you any sort of inclination or like where they were headed? I'm
They
sure
were on
one of them got lip loose considering they drink here.
They were on a big money job.
Can you tell us anything about the job? Or who hired them? I imagine a folk like that would put some feelers out into a community like this. Not implying anything, of course.
Sure. Some blonde asshole wandered in here about a week or so ago. Had that sort of they skin job about him.
Ugh.
Said he was hiring. Said it was worth a lot of money. He ran up enough of a bar tab for us to forget he was a skin job.
Damn.
Left with some phone numbers. what happened next is between them and the skin job.
So,
Not necessarily. A guy like that could come back.
Sure. And if he ever comes back, we're gonna have some questions for him.
Well, you and we, the three of us have something in common then.
so
He's a cop killer. Human
I'm-
cop killer.
You're talking. Oh, Evan, you don't know where you're at. So I'm actually gonna pull a. There's got to be some sort of online picture of David somewhere, and I'm gonna ask him.
For you to find that picture, that specifically that quickly, you need to make a tech roll, and you need to get at least 2 successes on it.
Let's do this. I got it. Can Mr. Can I get roll with advantage for?
I'm not giving up for advantage for this. It's
No,
fine.
I meant like someone helping me. So
I don't know how I would help you on this.
Yeah, because I don't think he knows what you're doing.
Like we can't. It's not like NCIS. We can't double team the keyboard.
okay.
I will be so angry as an IT professional if you try that double keyboard shit.
Hold
I'll
on,
be
let's
so
go-
angry.
Hold on. Let's take disadvantage and double team the keyboard.
All right,
That's
here
a
it goes.
terrible thing to do to a poor innocent keyboard.
Countdown. 3, 2, 1. Come on.
Not bad.
But we could still push it. Oh shit.
No,
we
you
can't.
don't push that.
No, that's bad. We have to have 2.
Yeah, but you're
Yep.
not likely to get two.
I
out of
mean-
that.
You could push. You could push that D10 and hope at a cost.
Oh, there's a chance I could get a 1.
You already have the
Another
you will
one.
apply.
If you push, you're already taking one.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm not. No, that's trap. No, not doing it.
All right. So you poke around in your KIA unit, but it is not connected to the Wayland Yutani intranet, and so you cannot just manifest data on your own unit.
Damn it. Okay. Oh, did you give a name, this blonde replicant?
David,
You've been quite helpful. And I'm actually going to take a piece of paper out of my pocket. Go, it's nice. You'll like it. And I'll leave.
okay. So I assume you collect your files and leave.
100%, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we have anything else to ask.
All right. Is there anything more that you want to... Do you want to have a conversation with each other once you leave the bar?
Whoa. How do you think that went?
Hey, we got out just fine. I mean, that's better than I expected.
That was good teamwork, man. You had them, like, hyping them up. They were hating you, dude.
Oh, that's the whole point. They were more open to you.
No, obviously, because it's me. Jeez.
Listen, I know how to work a crowd. You know how to close the deal.
Exactly. Let's go. So,
Do we want to hit up the biker, the other part of it, or no?
do you think we'll be able to get in?
Do we have any questions to ask them that we didn't get?
I wouldn't say questions, but I definitely think we should observe. So, if he went to this specific bar, there had to have been some sort of reason he went here. He
They're
could've gone
violent and for sale.
True, good point.
But go ahead and give me an insight roll, please.
Okay.
Well, I'm both of us, or just him?
Yeah, you can both do it.
Do you think we should have? Do you think we could get away with getting their bank records without drawing attention? The
So-
dead guys, not the
Not the
bar.
bikers, obviously.
So there's one question that occurs to Evan. These were supposed to be the Wallace hit squad on loan to Wayland Yutani, so what the fuck was David doing here?
And then why did they? For sure, there's like we recognize the death, the kills, and the injuries on them for the ones that weren't, the replicant hit squad.
Yeah, and there were certainly more people who attacked you
Yeah.
than were found in the river.
That's an interesting.
Maybe we should ask of why David was there in the first place.
We have to talk to David for that one.
Yeah, but obviously, I don't have that many that many rare cards to be able to bribe each and every one of them.
Oh, you're giving that guy a car?
Well, the area.
But what if you just didn't?
It's on him, not on me. I just gave him information, and that's not illegal in my opinion, and not to the government. I can tell you that for sure.
I didn't hear anything.
That's my point.
I didn't hear anything illegal. I mean,
so it's up to you. We can ask around a little bit more on why David was there, or we can go back.
we can hit up similar
So-
bars and see if anyone matching David's description was in the area. Not just bars, but like other low life locations like this.
Yeah, so you're pretty sure. So to answer two questions, you're pretty sure that if you try and find out any more reasons why David was there, the people in the bar don't
gonna-
fucking know anything beyond he was hiring people for a job, and you know what? We don't ask questions because what you don't know can't be tortured out of you.
Good point.
And as far as looking at other illicit locations in the city, that may or may not provide fruit, but this was the one commonality that you noticed in the files you studied.
I mean, our road leads to David.
Yep. I guess that's off we go. Think we should speak
Alright.
to Cassius first?
Oh, absolutely. I don't want to move on David without Cassius.
Yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're going to need a subpoena.
Agreed.
All right. Well, so while you head to where you think Cassius might be, and while Cassius, just sort of, Cassius, by the way, because this is a downtime, at the end of this downtime shift, you will feel you've processed it a little bit more. You feel a little bit better. You can have a resolve point back.
Okay.
So you
Yay! I'm up to my
Foster.
max of 3 now.
you have an appointment with Quell.
I sure do.
Oh.
On the way over with Foster, just to prep Quell for the meeting, I'm going to send a snippet of Holden's files. Not the juiciest bits, but enough to be like, oh, Evie means to come. Evie's not here to play.
Okay.
Just directly to her.
Okay. There is no response.
Fine.
Okay. So you arrive at Wallace Corp. You are treated the same way you're normally treated. You are led to Quell's office. Actually, you know what? Not her office. She will bring you to a conference room.
I see. This is great.
And so, laid out on the conference room is a sandwich tray. And you almost immediately recognize that this is not the Neander yeast farmed tomato flavored sandwich slices. This is the real deal.
Oh, that's
Kiwi's
a
not
lovely display.
So
if you're
It's
hungry,
all-
Foster, help yourself.
it's all vegetarian. So it's like cucumber and hummus sandwiches, tomato sandwiches, everything like that. So not quite they're not feeding you actual real animal meat.
No
Um,
charcuterie. What is this? I'm insulted. Neander could have splurged.
And there's a nice picture of clean lemon water as well. So you can tell that, effort has been gone to on your behalf.
Huh.
And so
Help it-
Quella's there with just a glass of water in front of her.
What's up, Q? Good to see you again. Thank you for the hospitality. I think you two know each other, don't you?
I'm sorry, again, Foster, you know Miss Quell?
I told you I liaised for Wallace Corporation a million years ago.
Ready. Did you happen to get my the files I sent?
They were quite fascinating.
I bet. Here's what I want. In a nutshell. I want Genesis. And I have a way for you to give her to me. And in exchange, I'll give you the rest of that lovely little cash I just sent you.
What makes you think this is things I don't already know?
I mean, there's option 2 where two rep detect units retire a replicant who I'm 90% sure killed people.
90% sure. Is that the standard of proof that Reptitech is using nowadays?
Have you seen rep detect? Yeah, I think it's less than that actually for most of them.
So she looks into a corner of the room where you see like a little red light blinking. You could certainly retire me right now, and I'm certain that would dictate the future course of your career in
Speaking for
Reptitech
myself
or
only. Miss
anywhere
Wells.
else.
Speaking only for myself, I am only here on the auspices of your reception. I would never dream of hurting anyone here, and let alone you, of course.
I should have brought Evan instead.
Could you imagine Foster at the biker bar? They would have shot Tanner for bringing him.
Sorry. You said my name? Why?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
So is that a no to playing ball? All I want is Genesis and David as well.
Well,
I think we'll have to frame David a bit. David's the one who hired the hit squad, not Wallace Core. You can just scrub that, I
Well,
think.
you've threatened me. I've threatened you, so I
Yes.
think we're even.
Yes, I like it's kind of fun actually.
Hmm.
I
As it
see Wallace like hiding
happens-
behind her, like,
As it happens, Genesis Wayland is, as I'm sure you can guess, how shall we put it, on my shit list.
Good.
So, if we can avoid threatening each other,
Okay.
especially with retirement in the relatively near future, then for the relatively near future, we can be allies.
Excellent. So I don't
offer
need to
this-
hand over those then. Those files. That could be a different leverage point. All of them that maybe you already know about.
Oh, well, there's certainly quite a lot of exciting information in them.
The ones I've shown you. That's just teensy bit.
I suppose if I had my druthers, I would like to see a video clip of you burning them. And
I mean,
all copies you might currently have.
Of course. I would be happy to arrange that.
Protecting our trade secrets, after all.
Yes, that's great. she'll kind of look eye Foster and be like, well, this is I'm pretty sure I know whose side you're on anyways, fuck it. There is one more thing I want.
I'd
My
be happy to-
sister is in a coma and her organs are failing. I
would
know what you did.
be Happy to provide your sister with a set of Wallace Corp synthetic kidneys.
I was actually going to ask for something more than that. I want all of her needs taken care of no matter what. For perpetuity, we'll say. I know you already bought the insides of my fellow Blade Runner Cassius. I don't know why. Don't care. I'm going to just not pursue that angle at all. I just want to make sure my sister has the best care possible. And then I will stop being a thorn in your side forever.
Who says you're a thorn in my side?
Just an
Not me.
intuition. Foster, I swear to God.
Foster offers a sandwich to the sniper in the corner. You want one?
Wallace Corp accepts no responsibility for the tragedy at the Weyland-Yutani air dock, but wishes to express our sympathy for the events which rapidly spun out of control. We felt that contributing to an officer's medical fund was the least we could do.
I thought I said I didn't care. But thank you, I guess. There's two things I care about in this moment. That is making sure Genesis goes the fuck down for killing my friend. And making sure my sister is safe. That's it. You'll notice my
We-
safety isn't on that list.
We align on one of those 2 points, and the second one can be easily accommodated.
Wonderful.
See, Wallace Corporation can always be counted on to be reasoned with. And
No, I'm pretty sure you're all evil and you work for a awful narcissist. I'm 100% sure of that.
So at that point, Quell leans over and hits the intercom button on her telephone and says that, Naomi, that neurologist working for UCLA Medical Center, could you have him assigned to a case of Cedar Sinai? Thank you. I'll send along the information shortly. Turns it off and then says, you were saying about evil.
Nothing, sorry.
always a pleasure, Miss Q. I think we were just leaving now. I think we're
I
all
don't
finished up
think
here,
we're
right? And he looks
quite-
over at Tafana like, we should go
I believe
now.
we have the Genesis issue to discuss.
Oh,
Yes.
shit.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Sure.
Oh my.
Edie sends over all of Holden's files to Quell.
What does this have to do with Genesis?
I thought we were bargaining still. My bad. Here's everything we have, and then she'll send over that.
Which one is that?
Oh, like the files Tanner got, all the evidence we have currently to link Genesis, because Evie hasn't heard from a certain 2 other members about a name.
Right. All right. Is there an address that I can reach you at?
I feel like you could probably track me down if you wanted to, but here's where I live.
I don't necessarily need to know where you live. I need to know where to send the courier.
Ah, yeah, my home would be best then.
All right.
It's a shithole, but it's my shithole.
Well, it's going to take me a little bit of time to arrange the information and to make sure, I'm sure you understand, that it will be properly scrubbed.
Of course,
But you will,
my goal was not to implicate Wallace Core at all. I told you what I wanted, just her.
you will receive information about Genesis Wayland, requesting a cleanup crew from us to take care of unruly replicants at her workspace. given this information, I'm sure you can easily link Miss Wayland to the unfortunate, deeply regretted attack on your squad.
Fantastic.
We never had this conversation. We never even met.
Goes without saying.
My best wishes to your sister. Is there anything else I can do?
Don't think so. We'll figure out an arrangement for you to witness me destroying the rest of the copies.
I'm sure Foster will take care of
Oh, will you, Foster?
Sure, I'm here to serve.
Great.
it. More human than human.
Oh, I have thoughts about that, Miss Quell, but
Everyone does.
I hope
Alright.
you have a good rest of your day.
And with that, unless there's anything that anyone else wants to take care of very quickly, I believe we've reached the end of episode lucky number 14 of Electric Memory. So yeah, just checking in case there was something that anyone else wanted to do very quickly. Or any questions you had, anything you wanted. Okay, because you got slung a lot of information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, thank you all for playing. Thank you to my producer, my note taker, my recapper. Thank you to my wonderful players. I've been waiting for some of these scenes for a while. It was great to see how they played out. I absolutely love them. Thank you to our wonderful audience members and the benevolence and malevolence with which you shower us. Betty, never got a chance to use your malevolence, but I'll make a note that it's here. Cause wow, they're gonna need it soon.
Malevolence? We're gonna need the malevolence?
I don't think we need the malevolence.
I am going to use the malevolence. I'm going to need it to make you suffer.
Please, no.
I also did not ever use Drea's benevolence because I never needed to roll, thankfully.
Yeah, I think that maybe that it would have gotten used a little early. No. Hey, yeah.
Man, someone could have kept all their fingers.
I mean, who knows? The dice were unhappy, but no. Right after that, you rolled a 10. So who knows? Anyway, this was a great episode. This was a great episode. All right. So if we just want to do one more quick round of who we are and when we can next see your faces on the internets, please.
I'm a secret. You do not know me. Just kidding. I'm your friendly neighborhood changeling ever. You can find me all over the internet as Am Changeling and on Etsy at Thornkind. And here next week, most likely the same time, same place. I started a job, so I might miss out on some first halves, but I hope you forgive me.
Eat your paper.
Stacks on stacks on stacks. Hi, that means me, Aaron. You can find me everywhere as Cthulhu. I think next is... Let me go look at my calendar real quick. Sorry, I should have done this ahead of time. I don't think I have anything except for... Oh, what's that? On Thursday, Public Access Session 0/Session 1 at 6 p.m. Pacific. Here on Stolen Fires. I'll be debuting as a GM in multiple fashions. I've never GM'd on stream before. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be spooky, creepy times. There'll be a lot of content warnings. Fair warning in advance.
Hello, it's me, Ben, Big Dad, also known as Evan. Tonight I was your good cop. In a good cop, corrupt cop pairing. You can catch me here again in a week. Shout out to my friend the Phasing Octopus on Bandcamp. He makes music that's weird. It's kind of like Aphex Twin, if you like that. He's just some guy that makes music because he wants to. Maybe check his stuff out. I'll post a link on the Discord.
Hi there. Eric here at Modern Recruits Online, and tonight I played Foster, who is enjoying all the drama that is playing out with the rest of his squad mates.
Hello. Oh crap. Okay. Hello, my name is Jared. I go as Leo of the Black here on Twitch and all the way over on social media and stuff. And today I played Tanner Rigo, and this cop dynamic me and Evan have is doing pretty well. Make a good team.
Fastest solve out of everybody.
Hey, we're the modern day Starsky and Hutch, all right?
Or 48 hours, whatever their names were.
yeah.
48 and hours.
Listen, it was Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy. Okay, I don't know the
Right,
characters'
that's-
names.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Steve. Pronouns are he, him, and tonight I played Cassius, who is starting to discover some things about himself. So, yeah, that'll be interesting.
You can't drink tea properly anymore.
No.
He
No.
just has
He
his
has
right
an
hand.
other hand.
Oh no, was that your booger picking pinky?
Yeah.
I
All right,
wish
it
so-
was.
It's okay. The proper term is the booger hook.
So, on that note, I've been your game runner. My name is Rachel. She, her. You can find me Stolen Fires pretty much everywhere. And then you will see me Monday for Dragon Age. Hooray! And then Wednesday where I stream Inquisition. More hoorays. We're gonna do finally leveled up enough to take on In Your Heart Shall Burn. Hooray! And then yeah, Thursday I'm gonna be there for public access. I'm really excited. I can't wait. So yeah, you should come by and watch us make characters. I already got a concept in mind. Should be a lot of fun. We will see you all next week.
Ooh.
Yeah.